When I was young, my brother and I built a boat with our father. We spent several years sailing and exploring the Patuxent River. And then I met Tony.
Peter and I spent many happy times on that boat, and so when we got married, we built a larger boat and ventured out into the Chesapeake Bay and its many rivers.
We crewed on larger boats with dreams of sailing the world, but then life took another turn.
Today, we look forward to retirement with dreams of leaving it all behind. Come join us on our journey to sail the seas.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Welcome to 2024.
2024 is a very exciting year for us. It seems like it was forever ago that we started this journey of which boat we want and how we got here, and now we're this close. Our boat is Seawind 1260. Moments in Time is just about completed. In fact, it might be completed by the time this video gets posted.
And we're so excited, and we invite you to stay to the end of this video. We have brand new photographs from Seawind of the latest stage of construction.
We're at the tail end of the quality assurance, and the next set of photos we expect any days is it being wrapped for shipping. So stay to the end. 24, we're going to sum up our health update, our journey over 2023. We made 4 changes a year ago. They were the 3 head nod rule. You know, if you're watching TV in the evening and your head nods off, by the time it nods off the 3rd time, just get up and go to bed, because you're not coming out over the 4th time.
Some of us did better than others.
Yes.
That would be him. He did better.
We eliminated alcohol 4 days a week. We did 30 minutes of exercise, and we eliminated unhealthy snacking. And we held true to that and
Pretty
the show.
much.
So what's your year results? What's your tally for the year?
I feel like I maintained at 40 pounds down, which is good. I don't feel like the last quarter of the year I really lost anything. I'm basically maintained. And so what I want to do is add more exercise. He walks every day. I didn't. I don't know that I still can, but I want to make sure I'm definitely doing more exercise. I think that's the key for me. And continuing to track what I eat. And doing the things we've been doing.
Right. You dropped 40 pounds.
I did. I gained 3 during Christmas, but I'm not counting that.
I dropped 50 pounds. In August, I kind of reached an equilibrium. Doing everything I normally do, I dropped 50 pounds. Now, I fluctuate 5 pounds a week. You know, Fridays, I tend to be at my lightest, and Mondays, I tend to be at my heaviest. So there must be a clue in there somewhere.
But I think you're where I think you're kind of that.
I feel close. I'm not complaining about the 50 pounds. So going into 2024, I do want to tweak some of my routines. I walk 3 miles every day. It takes me about 45 minutes. I'm going to add 30 minutes of like exercise, like squats, sit-ups, leg lifts, weightlifting. Because out of that 50 pounds, I did lose a lot of my muscle mass. And I'm not as buff as I was used to be, so I got to buff up for you. And then the other tweak I like to make is, can we give alcohol up another day of the week?
I think that'd be
and to go to and see if that makes a little bit of difference. Because what we're doing now, we reached a balance, so we have to change something. We don't want a diet. We're not really doing a diet.
No.
We eat healthy, but if we go to a restaurant, we order what we want. If I want Smith Island cake, I'll get my Smith Island cake.
Sometimes we split desserts. We do that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, we eat less of it, but we do allow ourselves to have those kind of treats.
And then we'll make those tweaks and see if it makes a difference. You know, our goal is to be limber, buff, wear bikinis when the boat comes in, and flaunt our stuff so we can get some YouTube viewers, right?
Are you wearing a bikini, Peter?
if that's what I have to do, I'll make the sacrifice. You know, we'll see. And then we'll do what, quarterly updates? You want to do quarterly updates?
I think quarterly
keep
would
honest,
be good,
keep us
because
honest.
I like having somebody to be accountable to, and we do appreciate all the encouragement too.
Yes, we do appreciate all the positive remarks that we got. That really helped us a lot. So we do have an exciting episode. We're doing day 1 provisioning. This episode's about day 1 provisioning. This is stuff that I want on the boat on day 1 before we ever leave the dock. Next month, Tony will be doing what we call day 2 provisioning, and she'll describe what that is next month, right?
The fun stuff.
Yeah, it's all the fun stuff, all the
For me.
expensive stuff. So many
good stuff.
pillows. But anyway, okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like what we're doing, if you like what you're seeing, what should they do?
Like, notification bell, comments, and that thumbs up says the like. So what's the other thing?
Be nice if you subscribe.
Okay.
She will get this one day.
It's too many things.
Okay, thanks. While we're waiting on Moments in Time being built and delivered, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. We have to find a slip for her. We're going to sail the home waters of Chesapeake Bay for the first season to shake her out. We have insurance that we have to finalize, and there's a lot of paperwork that we need to complete to bring it into the country. Also, we need to provision this boat. Now, we classify the provisioning into 3 separate categories. Day 1 provisioning means stuff that we need on the boat day 1. When it's delivered and we take our first steps on the boat, before we leave dock, we need certain equipment on the boat. I will do the day 1 provisioning. Then there's the day 2 provisioning. Tony's going to take care of day 2 provisioning. And that's stuff like linens, pots and pans, pillows, so many pillows, things like that. And then there's what we call day 3 provisioning, and that's stuff that we would like to have on the boat, but we don't know exactly where it's going to go or where we could store it. There's 2 rules, you know, when Tony ever says something like, should we put this on the boat? You know, question, where are we going to store it and how much it weighs? Those are the questions we always ask ourselves before we bring anything on the boat. So let's get started. Let's get started with day 1 provisioning. The first thing we're going to need a boat is life jackets. I will get into a lot of trouble if I get pulled over without having the proper safety gear on the boat. So what we got, I was able to get 2 4-packs of these type 3 life jackets for rather cheap. This gives me 8 life jackets to be put on the boat. I'll store them in the various cabins. I also bought this life jacket. This is my life jacket because it has pockets. It's more of a fisherman's life jacket. So we'll use that. For each of the life jackets, I bought whistles on lanyards. I was able to get these at Amazon, so I will strap on each life jacket a whistle. It has to be a waterproof whistle if it's going to be any good. Wow, that should do the trick. Also, a personal beacon light will be strapped on each life jacket. Now, somebody might say, well, why do you get these kind of cheap life jackets? And they really weren't cheap, but we didn't get the inflatables to hook on because they have an expiration date. And since we're going to stay local in the bay, we didn't think it was be worth the money to have like a year worth of expiration because you have to have them inspected. So we'll wait till we go offshore, and then we're going to buy 2 to 4 of those inflatable life jackets if we can get a good deal. Something we can tie onto jack lines in rough weather. The other thing I want on the boat on day number 1 are fire extinguishers and fire suppressions. So I bought 2 of these fire blankets. These are pretty amazing stuff. If you think about what's going to catch fire on this boat, it's probably going to be electrical or galley. This is great for galley. You just take it out, pull it out, and you lay it over the open flame and it snuffs it right out. Far preferable than spraying it with the high pressure fire extinguisher. I did get 2 of these, or 4 of these actually. These will fit into that option, fire extinguisher storage option. One goes into forward cabin, one's in the aft cabin, I think one's under the nav desk. So these are type B, C, and they will fit in those compartments. I also have these. We ended up buying these. They said it was a certain length and dimension. They were wrong, but they wouldn't take it back. But these are type A, B, and C fire extinguishers, so I'll probably store these midship along each hull. Other safety equipment. I did buy one of these. I think this is very important. You attach it to your lifelines And this is a man overboard, so if somebody goes overboard, you kind of throw this in. I think this is very important, especially when you might have kids on the boat, like I probably will. We also bought a first aid kit. This is a first adventure first aid kit, should carry us probably definitely within the bay and along the coast. Eventually Tony will pack her own first aid kit. She was a Girl Scout leader and she has her own ideas what belongs in a first aid kit. But for day one, first aid kit. Next, signaling devices, emergency signaling devices. These are flares, parachute flares, smoke signals, flags, and things like that. You need that on the boat, I think, day number one. All safety equipment for the boat should be on there before you leave the dock and slip those lines for the very first time. I kept track of the cost and where I bought all of these, and I might do an episode detailing the cost and the models of everything that we purchased to outfit it on day one. Also, some air horns, signaling devices that you're gonna need in a boat. I ended up getting a 3-pack, so I got 3 of these for a pretty good price. Keep one at each helm while we're sailing, so that's necessary. I also bought this. I don't know how long this is gonna last on the boat. What I like about this is it doesn't require refill, so you just kind of pump it. Tony's not gonna like that. I also bought some flashlights. These are single AA batteries. There are red light. They have different modes. Just emergency lighting that I probably keep 2 in each berthing area. I also have them headbands as well in red. Red preserves your night vision. The Seawind is delivered with 3 fenders. They're kind of small, white. I'll show you a picture. I think the boat's going to need more fenders, so I bought 4 of these. These are the 10-inch by 30-inch Taylor Tough Guard fenders. I bought 4 of these to supplement the 3 that's delivered. Don't want to scratch up a new boat. In addition, I purchased these. These are 12-inch by 34, I believe. These are also Taylor. I'm thinking about maybe if I need them for the sugar scoop stern, depending on where I dock the boat. So I bought 2 of these. So we got 2 12-inch and 4 10.5-inch fenders to augment the 3 fenders that come with the boat. Of course, with the fenders, you need fender lines. So these are the fender lines for all the fenders. So I got enough for all the fenders. Miscellaneous things, whipping twine. Is this really a day number 1? Yeah, maybe. It could be day number 1. Also, Dyneema lashing. That's definitely day number 1. You never know what's going to happen on day number 1. You're shaking the boat out. I bought bungs. I bought 8 of these, just in case something happens. I can shove them in a hole or through a hole and hopefully stop any ingress of water. In addition, I think every boat needs a great set of binoculars, ice blurs. I bought the Steiner Commanders with the stabilized bearing compass built in. I really like these binoculars. I've always used binoculars with the bearing compass built in. They work out very well, but these Steiners are beautiful. They're nice. I really liked them. A little bit expensive though. I bought this fishing cleaning board. It folds up, pretty nice. Has a cutter on it. Should be able to fit on the cockpit sink to help augment it. And one thing I have not bought yet is a new fishing rig. Some people might say, is that really a day 1 item? Yes, I believe a new fishing rig is. So if Admiral Tony asks if it's really necessary, you make sure you tell her, yes, you got to have that new fishing rig. How else are you gonna eat, right? I bought a mooring hook. This is pretty nifty. This will allow you to put a rope in there and then hook it through a cleat or through a mooring hole pendant, all in one motion. And I'll show a brief a little video of how this works. This was a little bit expensive, but it could pay for itself rather quickly.
The open hook, a little clip. Take your mooring line that has a loop in the end, load it. Okay. Extend towards the mooring buoy. Hook it through. Back to your boat.
Excellent.
I also bought this telescoping mooring hook. This is, I think this goes out to 14 feet. This is necessary for those long reaches to reach over a dock line or to retrieve something out of the water that might have fell in. The Seawind comes with a mooring hook. If you look, I didn't realize it, but it's on the back aft cabin top, coach roof. You can see it. I'll pop a picture in there so you can see it. But you can't have too many hooks, especially long ones. I've dropped things in the water or had things fall in the water many times, and the only way I was able to get them is with a hook. So I bought a bunch of extra dock lines. You can't have too many dock lines. I think Seawind gives you 4 dock lines. I think they're about 40 feet. These size are 5/8. And I bought them in various lengths, a bunch of 15, 20, 25, 30s, and 40s. For when I tie up the boat, I make sure I have enough lines depending on where we end up berthing it. So yeah, I got some nice dock lines to augment the 4 that comes with the boat. In addition, I'm hoping our dinghy, the UP340, it's being delayed. I'm hoping that it will be finished by the time this episode airs. But I bought a couple slings for the davits to raise that dinghy up. So I went ahead and bought that in the hopes that the dinghy will be ready by the time the boat is delivered. We expect the boat to be delivered late February, early March, but if it's a little bit late, that's okay because it's still quite cold up here in March in Maryland. And then I finally bought some Pelican type hooks where I know where I'm probably going to use them. So those basically are the day 1 items that we're going to load on the boat when we first board it. Like I said, Tony's working on day 2, and she's going to present those items either at the tail end of this episode or in a new episode. She has lost her voice today, so I'm enjoying the peace and quiet. But don't tell her. Now, as promised, the latest construction photos of our Seawind 1260 Moments in Time. Looking from the deck of hull SC672, we can see our Seawind 1260 hull SC673 Moments in Time. It is now in the finishing shack, or the polishing barn. This is the last phase of quality assurance and detailing before shipping. Looking from the bow, we can see the forward lifelines are now rigged. We have previously seen the dolphin seats and the bottom paint, but there's not much left to do from this view. Walking around the starboard side, what I thought from the previous episode were just simply holes for through hull fittings are actually the underwater lights. From this angle, the boat looks like it's done. Moving to the stern, we can see our stern light is now installed. We can see our solar panels. We can see the squid light that shines in between the hulls on the aft end. We see our saloon folding door folded up into the coach roof. And we can see off to the left the remaining cabinetry waiting to be installed in our boat. Stepping up onto the boat on the sugar scoops, we can see our transom step lights. These should be blue in color. We are now in the cockpit looking at the starboard helm position. We can see the starboard helm seat framework is now in place. Underneath it, you can see the cooler modular furniture in its storage position. We can see the cockpit night lighting. This is a red light that preserves our night vision. We can see the cockpit speaker as well. We can see the starboard compass is installed, as well as the two B&G multifunction displays. Also, right there above the cockpit speaker, we can see the handle for the starboard manual bilge pump. Looking at the port helm position, we can see we no longer have just holes. Everything has been installed, starting with the port compass, the throttle controls, the anchor chain counters, the two B&G multifunction displays or MFDs, the auto helm control panel, the Yanmar engine panels, and the shore power hookup. We also see the handle for our port manual bilge pump. Looking into the cockpit, there really is not much left to do. We need the upholstery and the settee and the helm seats, and we need the helm steering wheels. Other than that, the cockpit can be checked off as complete. Stepping out on the forward deck looks complete. I see nothing that really needs to be done. I can look over and see a Hull SC672 packed and ready to be shipped. We are next in line. Stepping into the saloon, we can see some significant progress. We can see the isolation switches and the 12-volt DC USB charging port is installed. We can see the fans by the forward windows are installed. We can see the two saloon speakers are installed. The navigation desk light is on, and we have the cutout for the C-zone and shortcut buttons on the nav desk. We can also see our table in place. And what's not obvious here is the fact that we have the plywood protective flooring in place implies that our saloon flooring is also complete. Stepping down into the port owner's hull, looking aft into the owner head area, we can see some progress. We can see the showers actually been installed. It's hard to see in this photograph. We see the shower bracket is installed. The toilet switches are in. We can see the shades / blinds. We can see the general purpose electrical outlet, and we can see the toilet paper holder. Moving forward in the port hull, if you look above the windows, you can see the shades are installed. The shades are installed on all the windows. We can see the cabinet doors and the wooden trim are all installed. We can see the bilge alarms and control panels are installed. There's not really much left here. You got the shelving to go in place and some doors. The flooring and the top hatches need to be trimmed with their screen and shades. A lot of progress in the owner's stateroom. We can see the recessed lighting is completed. We can see the his and her fans are installed. The door to the forward closet, the wood trim are completed. The cabinet doors are completed. And we can see the general purpose outlets and the DC 12-volt USB off to the right there. Looking down into the starboard hull at the galley, we can see a lot of progress. We can see the blinds are installed. We can see the galley fans in place. We can see the filtered, fresh, and raw spigots are in place, and all the cabinetry doors are installed. Moving down to the starboard aft stateroom, we can see the shade blind is in place. This is unique because of the nature of the steps on the sugar scoop. This is the only blind that actually pulls up rather than down. We can also see the fan in place. Once they complete all the electrical work, you will see a closet to go into that big opening to the right. Moving forward in the starboard hull into the galley area, we can see a lot of progress. We can see the recessed lighting is complete. We can see the wood trim along the doorway and the cabinets are complete. We can see all the cabinetry is completed, complete with doors. We can see the GPO, the general purpose outlets, and the DC USB charging ports there. And we can also see the microwave is installed. I think once they lay the flooring, the galley will be complete. Continuing forward into the starboard guest stateroom, we can see a lot of progress. We can see that bulkhead trim is finally in place. All the wooden trim is in place. We can see all the cabinetry doors are installed, and we can see the light switch and the USB charging ports are installed. I assume the fan's in place since the fan is installed in all other locations on the boat. Continuing forward into the starboard forward head,
We can see the spink and spigot shower are in place. This is a wet head, so that spigot will come out and act as a shower. We also see the rail and fiddles are installed. If you look at that opening, eventually once they finish all the wiring, that will become a storage medicine cabinet. And there, Moments in Time sits, waiting for the last of the electrical work to complete, the helm steering wheels to be installed, the remaining cabinetry to complete, the finished flooring and the hulls to drop, and the installation of the inside-outside upholstery. She will soon be cleaned, packed up, and shipped. She is still scheduled for completion for early January 2024.